And this Monday morning, we start the 7 o'clock hour with breaking news out of Aurora. A semi crash there has led to Brianna to declare a traffic impact alert this morning. I'm Erica Lopez.
And I'm Jordan Chavez. Good morning, everybody. This is on I-70 near Tower Road out by the airport. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon just arrived on that scene. Courtney, we have seen from our Sky 9, it is a mess out there. You actually yourself got stuck in that backup.
Yes, we did, just for a little bit there, Erica and Jordan. And we got here about 10 minutes ago. Aurora police are telling us that this crash happened around 12:30 this morning, so really late overnight while you were sleeping. But take a look over here. I'm going to have my photojournalist, Joe Swanson, show us what's happening right now. You see this semi-truck is right behind us here, and the tow trucks are trying to pull it out right now. It seems like it's caught on this electrical box. They were trying to pull it back there. You can see them. They've got it strung up, got all the cables attached to this truck here, and they're trying to pull it out of this area right now so they can begin the cleanup phase of this process. So Aurora police, they're telling us that a semi crashed into a pole, and this happened because the driver of the truck swerved to avoid a vehicle that had suddenly hit the brakes in front of them. It sent debris flying everywhere, and whatever was inside the trailer of the truck. If you take a closer look, if Joe can zoom in on the debris here, it looks like it's mostly eggs in these cardboard boxes, and each box actually says 5 dozen eggs, so a lot of eggs strewn about here. It looks like a lot of groceries, but the only thing I'm really seeing right now is a whole truckload full of eggs that spilled onto the highway. So there are 2 lanes closed right now as crews are working to clean up the debris. We do have Sky 9 flying over the scene right now if we want to take a look at that, just to see how much of a traffic clog this is really causing this morning as people are trying to get to work, especially right by the airport. If you're trying to get to the airport, I'm assuming there's going to be some delays for you this morning because traffic is really slowing down here. But crews are expected to get underway cleaning this up in a little bit. Again, 2 lanes of traffic are closed. We're seeing Aurora police on the scene as well as CDOT, and that's why I'm going to send this over to our traffic anchor today, Brianna Fernandez, who has a closer look at what your commute times are going to look like with this. Brianna?
Thank you, Courtney, for getting there so quick. And yes, this is going to cause a headache for a lot of folks who are trying to get to Pena Boulevard, so Denver International Airport, or leaving the airport because this is right close to that crash. So Sky 9 giving us a closer look of what Courtney was showing us. You could see tons of boxes, and like Courtney mentioned, it looks like some of those boxes contained eggs, dozens and dozens of eggs. So this is the cleanup process is just going to be a mess all throughout the morning. Now, this crash, like she mentioned, happened at 12:30, so it's almost 7 hours later, and we're still seeing a mess along westbound I-70. We're also seeing some onlooker delay on the other side of eastbound I-70 for a lot of folks who are trying to see exactly what is going on. So let's switch things over to our main maps, kind of show you where this crash is happening. Again, westbound I-70 right near Pena Boulevard. So this is just after Tower Road. Expect heavy delays in that area because I just checked those speed times. They're coming in at 6 miles per hour. We are seeing about a 3 to 4 mile delay, a backup in that area. And then you're also seeing some eastbound delays as soon as they approach that crash on the westbound side of I-70. Again, 6 miles per hour. It's barely moving out there. Pretty much looks like a big parking lot. And that's because the right lanes are partially blocked. We only have that one left lane that is getting all that traffic out of there. But again, this is going to be a mess for a lot of folks in the Aurora area. Of course, we're going to keep you updated both on air as well as online all throughout the morning. And as soon as this crash clears up, we'll definitely keep you updated.
All right, weather-wise today, it's going to be on the warm side and on the dry side for us. Temperatures right now mid to upper 50s around the metro area. Radar is quiet right now. We have a slight chance for a brief gusty storm in a few spots, but for the most part, it is a dry, and really the main impact, it's that heat. Near 90 degrees for us today, and that forecast will get up into the upper 80s for us. Record for today is 90 degrees. We'll be close to that later this week, though. Some changes, including mountain snow and some eastern plains storms, perhaps including us in the metro area. I'll have details on that for you in the next few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. We are trying to get more answers for you right now about a crash involving a car and a pedestrian. Here is what we know so far this morning. This happened just before 7 o'clock last night near 43rd Avenue and Thompson Court in Denver, just a few blocks from I-70. Denver police says that one person was sent to the hospital. We do not know how badly they were hurt or how they are doing this morning. We also don't know if the driver who hit the person stayed on the scene. Of course, our desk is making calls as we speak, trying to get these questions answered for you this morning. And once we learn more, we'll be sure to pass that information along. Plans for an old golf course in Denver could be out of limbo soon with a pivotal city council vote on the agenda today. The vote is to authorize a land swap, and council members could sign off on it in their regular meeting this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says that the former Park Hill Golf Course is the city's largest land acquisition in more than 100 years. Right now, the space is still closed to the public as the land swap deal has not been finalized just yet. So back in January, city leaders announced they acquired the former golf course with plans to turn it into a park. The 155-acre site would be managed as the open space, with Denver Parks and Recreation overseeing it. Right now, there is no timeline of when it would open. The city says they hope to have it ready by the end of this summer, or by summer of this year, rather. The plan here is to add low-cost amenities. We're talking about a dog park, picnic tables, walking trails, even a disc golf course. Then the long-term vision is still being developed. The city will also address immediate issues like broken walkways, as well as overgrown trees and brush. Later today, the land swap deal is up for a vote in Denver City Council. The city is acquiring the private property from the owner West Side Investment Partners in exchange for 145 acres of undeveloped land in Adams County right near the airport. Plans for the land have been in limbo for years after the golf course closed back in 2018. In April 2023, Denver voters rejected a ballot measure to allow the land to be developed by Westside Investment Partners. City Council's meeting will start at 3:30 this afternoon, and you can still help with the planning and even the design process of the park with a survey the city launched last month. They're asking residents to help imagine what the park should look like, including what amenities and programs they should prioritize. That survey is open through May 18th. You can find a link to that on our website, 9news.com.
Right now, a bill that could change how tipped employees get paid is waiting for the governor's signature. The bill would lower the required minimum wage for tipped employees in cities where local minimum wages are higher than the state's. There are a few places where that would apply, like Denver, Boulder, and Edgewater. Supporters of the bill say that it would help restaurants who are already struggling financially. Opponents say that would be unfair to workers who rely on tips for a huge part of their income. The governor has until June 6th to sign the bill or veto it.
The Elizabeth School Board has violated the Colorado Open Meetings Act. The Elbert County District Court made the ruling last month. A local mother filed a lawsuit against the school board last fall, alleging the board did not give full and timely notice of an issue to keep the district schools open for full in-person learning. Elizabeth School District Superintendent Dan Snowberger maintains the district gave adequate notice. Elizabeth School District is working with its legal team to determine its options moving forward. Snowberger said no final decision on any appeal or any legal action has been made just yet.
Well, today, President Trump is expected to sign an executive order that he says will immediately reduce prescription drug prices from 30% to 80%. The president shared the news on Truth Social, saying that he is instituting a most favored nations policy. He claims Americans will pay the same price as the countries with the lowest prescription prices.
This morning, the U.S. and China have reached an agreement to slash tariffs in order to defuse the trade war. Both sides have agreed to roll back most of their recent tariffs and call a 90-day truce to continue negotiations. The U.S. is cutting off its tariffs on Chinese goods from 145% down to 30% down. China making a similar move, dropping its own tariffs down to 10%. Officials say the reductions prevent what was essentially an embargo, and they hope that the truce leads to more balanced trade.